This project was, I guess, just like a culmination of everything I've done so far, and it's probably my proudest moment yet as an artist. I mean, just to get into detail a bit more, I made the decision to make this a concept album just because, you know, everything that happened to me in 2023, ngayon, alam niyo na yung chismis ng buhay ko. I would say that it really shaped me as a person, and it deeply affected me so much that it impacted the way that I chose to create my art. And I thought that making it into a short film and showcasing like the narrative of it and how my story is as a human being, like what I wanted to achieve with this short film was for you not only to get to know me as an artist, but to get to know me as a person as well. So I hope I was able to do that today. And of course, I just want to take a moment to just thank everyone who was, you know, integral in this process and who made this short film possible. Shout out to everyone at Toothless, of course, my prod house. I love you guys so much. Team Toothless, yes. All of the visual effects, see Nico Del Rosario, he's in the house right now. So shout out to him. I also want to take this opportunity, of course, to thank everyone who was involved in the production of this album. Most especially Xiao Chan, who can't be here today, but I know he's here in spirit. He was the main producer for this album. Of course, my other producer, Javel Rivera. This is actually the first album he's ever produced for an artist. So props to him and shout out to you, man. I share this moment with you, of course. And of course, my UMG Philippines team, Republic Records, my core team, everyone. And of course, I want to make a special shout out, of course, to someone who's actually really important to me, see Olivia, who is my project manager, creative manager. She's one of my best friends in the world, and I got to work with her on this, and this wouldn't have been possible if not for the hard work that she did for this. She went beyond work, honestly. She's family, and my whole UMG Philippines family is, you know, they are family to me. They're not just my team. So yeah, I hope you guys were moved and impacted by this work of mine, because as I like to say, whenever I make music, I don't write or I don't create to impress, I write and create to connect. So. Pero sa akin siguro, I would have to say Rocket Science is definitely at the top of my list.
Actually, Rocket Science, we heard Mommy kanina, you were like, ba't parang di ko alam to?
Hindi namin alam talaga.
No, yeah, because
Surprise.
actually my parents, like, I never showed them parts of the short film habang binubuo namin. Like, this was really, I guess, yeah, like I wanted to keep it really internal between me and my team in terms of the story and pati yung mga pagtahi-tahi ng lahat ng mga kanta. So, yeah, but I would definitely say Rocket Science. I think mainly because, well, sonically, I really love it, and I love how personal it is, and it was actually one of the last songs that I wrote for the album. And just so you guys know as well, so for the first track of this album, Love for Once, I wrote that song when I was 18 years old, actually. So that was, well, now I'm 21 years old. So a lot of time has passed since then, and it's just been a full circle moment. I think the gap between Love for Once and Rocket Science, I think that or Sad Girl Anthem were one of the last tracks to be written for the album. So I think a lot of my growth as a songwriter and as an artist was within that song, and just because you know, I always write about heartbreak and love, and I always like to challenge myself in terms of the themes that I like to write about. Pero kasi a subject such as, you know, heartbreak coming in different forms, and in terms of friendships ending as well, was this a concept that I wanted to challenge myself to write to. Because one thing about me is I'm a concept-based songwriter, so it always starts with that. Even before the melody, before the lyrics, I always think about what it is I want to say with each and every one of my songs, because I like to consider my songs to be purposeful in every way. So I think with Rocket Science, it just, I had the idea for that song back in September of last year. I had the hook, but I never got around to writing it. And I had to sit with my feelings for a while after losing that connection and losing that friendship. And I feel like I was able to do that with this song. And I don't know, one thing that I love about that song, and actually all of the songs in general, is that I could really see my growth even as a person, because my perspective on things have changed. Everything here that you watched was very intentional. Everything were like dramatizations and everything, but I would say we started with Love for Once just because we wanted you guys to get to know my core as a person. Kumbaga, bakit ba ako tinatawag na sad girl? Kasi at the end of the day, tayo mga sad girl, di ba? Tayo mga sad girl. Di ba sinawa natin? But I would say, tayo mga sad girl, or just people who go through sadness in general, it all stems from the universal theme of wanting to be loved. So that's really what the core of this album is about. It's about one thing that human beings can all relate to is we all seek validation, we all seek to be accepted. And that was the whole reason and the whole catalyst of my journey as a person. And this album is me realizing how I found myself looking for love in so many places when I should have found it within myself. In terms of this album, I really do put out certain aspects of my personal life. If people think some of it sounds familiar, then an interpretation. At the end of the day, again, I don't really name names. I feel like that takes away from the experience of experiencing my art, because for me, nasa sa inyo yun. It can be whoever you want it to be about. It can be, at the end of the day, I mean, yes, it is about my story, but I'd like for you guys to come out of this room thinking, you know, having your takeaway being like, this is a part of you now. My album is now a part of you. I want you guys to think of your own experiences of when it comes to loss and grieving, loss of friendship, loss of love. So.